Welcome back, guys, to another Dragon Ball Legends video. Today we're going to be doing a showcase on the Ultra Goku. I feel like people are underrating this guy a lot. I do think he's the second best unit in the game. I hope by the end of the video you guys agree with that. If not, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, guys, we are in the first match here for the Goku showcase. So I will go ahead and let the replays play here for this showcase specifically. We're gonna go ahead and just let the replay of the matches play, because honestly, like, I want to actually talk about Goku and both Frieza as well. We'll do the same thing for his initial showcase as well. I'll have the teams obviously show up prior, as you guys have already seen. The teams will show up prior to the match, if I have their screenshot at least. If not, then we'll show something else in the meantime. But I really do want to talk about these units here, because I feel like a lot of people are not really underestimating Frieza, but I feel like they are underestimating Goku. Like, I feel like people need to like really kind of figure out like how they want to use Goku, because what's happening a lot, what I'm seeing with people using Goku, is that they're trying to utilize his snipe, right? And his snipe is very valuable, right? Don't get me wrong. His snipe is extremely valuable, and it's a very good thing to try to aim for and try to utilize. But I don't think it's worth utilizing his snipe at the cost of delaying when you pop his gauge, because he charges his gauge very, very quickly, because of the fact that he gets it both when he's using cards and his allies getting hit. You could generally get his gauge charged in like 20 counts. And right there, like, that's one thing. Another thing too, his blue card damage stacking is absolutely insane. If you can get that off without getting your buffs canceled, which is, even if you do get your buffs canceled like once or twice, because a lot of units don't have too many buff cancellations available anyways. So like the team we're fighting here, the only unit that can cancel our blue card buffs is that red Saiyan Goku, and he only does that like once or twice maybe. So we can burn through his uses very quickly, and then after that our blue card is very free, which is what we're stacking up right now. We're stacking up our blue card damage because our Frieza is getting hit. And especially the team that we're running here, we're running the Frieza Saga team. This team is extremely durable. It's very, very tanky. They heal a massive amount of HP because they have the health restore buff, as well as just passive healing for both Krillin, Frieza's healing, Goku's healing passively as well. And their damage inflicted is just through the charts. Like, between Goku and Krillin, you're damn near providing your team with like 80% support. It's absolutely bonkers, man, what you are providing on this team. So that's one thing to definitely keep in mind. Even like right there, you see like that Kaioken Goku, he's using a blue card. This is like a red 2, red 3 Kaioken Goku or something. And his blue card did nothing to that Frieza. He absolutely just ate that for breakfast. Like, it did not matter at all. And again, when Frieza comes back in, or when Krillin swaps out, he's going to get even more healing than what he has right now. So here, this is one of the ways we already popped Goku's first gauge. We haven't popped the second one yet, but we bring Goku in right there because Goku gets a very massive buff to his disrupt after you pop his first gauge, in which he will destroy 2 enemy cards every single time he comes in. So right there, we came in and we utilized that, and we got the 2 card destruction as well as so his combo ended up being a lot shorter. So he was forced to like pop his stuff there, which again, is like, that's what the main idea is. And here again, we're utilizing our sub counts and Krillin swaps. Frieza's back to full HP. Goku's just ate an ultimate, and he's almost also at full HP. He's gonna heal again when he comes back in. So it's just that's like what I'm saying. Like, again, right here, he's healing. He's gonna be healing again. Then he's taking these hits, discharging his gauge. We've already popped his second gauge, so he has his full buffs already. At this point, I'm just letting my gauge charge so we can go ahead and pop the snipe potential come in. Because if this Goku comes in with his buffs and he locks into anybody on that team right now, they will pretty much die. And that's what we're kind of trying to aim and set up here. We're utilizing Krillin's sub count lowering right there. And here, that's right there. There we go. That we got the lock in. And then we're going to pop the blue card here. We decided not to pop the blue card, but that's fine. We decided to go for the ult, which here, this was a misplay on my end. Because if I had just popped the ult earlier, this ult would have been neutral against this Kaioken and it would have killed him. Because this ult does absolutely ridiculous damage as well. It's just, at the end of the day, he only has 5 counts. He only has 5 counts to utilize the type neutral and the endurance null. I wish the type neutral was 10 counts instead of 5, and the endurance null can stay at 5. That one's a little bit stronger, so I'm fine with that staying at that point if it did. But I really would have liked if his type neutral lasted a bit longer. But that's fine. We're utilizing the Frieza bombs here, and we're getting the damage in from that. But like right now, our Goku's already at his peak potential. He has type neutral when he's coming in. He has his endurance null. He has his maximum disrupt. And that's basically how you play Goku, is you try to utilize his disrupt and his tankiness to keep charging his gauge. Because as long as you're getting hit, or your allies, or as long as your allies are getting hit, or you're getting hit, or if he's using his own cards, he will go ahead and just keep charging that gauge. And you can pop that gauge pretty consistently, like 3 to 4 times a match if you're utilizing it correctly. So that's something that you definitely want to aim for. We are still trying to use most of our matches. We're not trying to use Rising Rush too much because I do want to see what the units can do, not what Rising Rush can do. So that is something that we will also keep in mind. And then Frieza does just go ahead and wrap this up for us because this guy just stopped dodging everything for some reason. So Frieza was just able to go ahead and finish that match off for us. But you guys see like what Goku's doing. Like he's providing support, he's providing the AoE healing and all those other things. Let's go and keep talking about this in the second match. Alright, we're in the second match now, going up against another Saiyan Saga team, this time with Tien instead of the new Goku. Probably because this guy didn't get lucky enough to pull the new Goku. And this was one of the things I also wanted to talk about was like, people are saying this Kaioken Goku is like top 3 in the game or top 2 in the game. They're saying he's even better than the new Ultra Goku. And I just like, I see matches like this happen way too often where Kaioken Goku is just getting 3-shot by Frieza at the start of the match. And it's like, yeah, you could say he's like untransformed, he's on this, he's on that. But like Frieza's still going to be doing that to him even once he's transformed. Like Frieza does not care. And even once Goku goes neutral, he will absolutely care to this guy. Which is, again, like the main thing I've been wanting to stress about this Goku showcase. And the main reason I feel like people are kind of underwhelmed by Goku is because they're not really utilizing his gauge pops and stuff. So like here we have our gauge pop. That's our first one popped. So the next time Goku comes in, he will have his disrupt. So that is one of our things done. And then we're just trying to utilize our sub-count manipulation here to go ahead and get Goku back in. Should have saved that green card just to pop the AoE. And that's another thing. AoE green cards are still very good, which is why like on this team we don't have extra green cards. But on other teams, like if you're using, what's it called? Saiyan Saga with like the Yajirobe on bench, or even like you could run like a God Key bench and try to use MUI Goku, which I don't know how to really feel about MUI Goku right now because Frieza kind of just makes him not exist. It's very hard to use MUI Goku into Frieza, especially in a last man standing kind of position. MUI Goku struggles a lot because of what Frieza can do. So even that, and also just even the yellow Goku, like just having the endurance and all and everything like we talked about earlier. And here we're utilizing our second gauge pop, so now we do have our full buffs the next time we come in. Which that was another thing I wish that they did make it to where is when you popped his gauge, he would get those buffs for like the first time at least. But he doesn't. You know, it is what it is. That would have been nice if he had that. It would have been a nice little quality of life. But those are like the couple things I feel like are stopping him from just being better than Frieza. Is the way that his gauge works, as well as just the fact that his damage stacking is on cards landed instead of cards used. Whereas Frieza can just use cards to go ahead and get it. So like here, Frieza can just go neutral with his gauge pop, but we're not going to do that here because we're going to save it for when he actually need it. Because right now, Goku's coming in with type neutral and endurance and all, so we don't really need to worry about anything. We can just go ahead and let Goku do his thing. Got the single tap there, very nice. And again, we're one pop away from our gauge charge. Once that gauge does pop, again, look at that healing. 500k healing for the whole team. Goku is now defensively neutral as well for 20 counts-ish, and that is all cancelable, which is going to come in right here. And also, when he does come in from this, he also does get his buffs as well. So we do go ahead and do that. There we go. Got that blue card off. This is with our buffs canceled. Keep that in mind. This is type neutral, but this is with our buffs canceled. And we still killed there, doing 1.3 million with all of our buffs removed, which Goku does have a lot of removable buffs. That is another thing as well. A lot of his buffs are removable. All of his blue card stacking and his feint chance is removable. His damage stacking is removable. That is something that does hurt a little bit, but it is what it is. And here we have Tien going in on Mr. Goku. Yeah, that really is, like, I think the main thing is you kind of just want to get through Goku's gauges as fast as possible so you have access to the utility that he has once he pops those 2 gauges. It does slow him down a bit, especially compared to Frieza. But I think the other thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these matches that we are currently in, at least like the higher up you go, especially in like LBR settings and other things like that, the matches are going to be a lot longer. And the longer the match is, the more Goku is just able to compete. He's able to do so much with his gauge pops the longer the match is that it's just like, man, he really just starts looking like on Frieza's level the moment the match starts getting a little bit longer. Frieza in like an earlier situation, kind of like with like Rising Rush where you can speed up matches and stuff, or teams where you're fighting and they don't have like crazy like other things like revive and endurance and constant things like that, Frieza is able to look a little bit better. But it's going to go to the next match. All right, this is the third match here with this setup. That's pretty much, I feel like, where Goku's at. Like his AoE protection for the team is very, very strong. Although I feel like people are maybe overrating it just a tad bit. Like while it is really strong, I don't know if it's as OP as people are making it out to be. Like, I feel like when you're running Goku alongside units that have like revive and endurance, it definitely feels extremely powerful. Don't get me wrong. But when you're running him with units like Kaioken, who don't really have a second life, it really isn't that hard to get through. Because what ends up happening is, even if you catch Goku himself or like Kaioken in this situation, you're able to get through their health bar quick enough to where you can just burn through that Goku's life. And once you burn through it, the team is back to what it was, right? So that's one of the things that I feel like does make it a little bit weaker, but it's still an extremely strong ability. It's either the best or the second best ability, regardless of that fact. But it has been very annoying fighting it in PvP when you're fighting people that are using things like revive alongside him, because with the revives like factored in there, it is guaranteed like a timer count match. It is ridiculously long matches in PvP right now because these guys are just so hard to kill, and they make their teams extremely hard to kill as well. Frieza especially, like, he just tanks so well, man. Like here, this Goku is just getting shredded, bro. It's just sad. It's absolutely sad. And that's what I'm talking about. You're able to burn through, if they don't have endurance or revive, you're able to burn through this Goku's thing very early and just get it done, man. Just get it done. And that's kind of just what it is. That's one of like the weaknesses of it, but I feel like that's more of a player focused issue. Like if you misplay with the unit that doesn't have that extra life, that I feel like is more the thing. The other like kind of tip I will give you guys is, if you're fighting Goku, right, this is going to be an anti-Goku tip. If they have an endurance unit, pop the unit's endurance before you pop your endurance revival, because otherwise, or endurance nullification, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you use your endurance nullification to nullify their endurance, and you'll pop Goku's revive thing, but the unit will still have their endurance, so you won't be able to get that. Whereas if you pop their endurance first, then use your whatever thing you were going to use, like whether Frieza's Death Beam or an ultimate, to nullify that endurance, it will then pop Goku's revive, but that unit will still be like, they won't have any other survivability like Eat a Rush or anything like that. So I'd recommend that's how you guys go ahead and play around it. It could also just be good to like waste Goku's revive early, but then you're still leaving them with an endurance, and I feel like you can just get rid of both if you just wait like 1 second and use a different ability. So that's what I would recommend for that regard. And here this guy's going in with the overdrive attack. We do go ahead and predict that a little bit, get a guess through, not a problem. And we just go ahead and full screen strike. He tried to get his thing, he was trying to get his thing back there. And here Goku is type neutral for the 5 counts, and he does have immunity to card destruction, so he just doesn't care, and he just shreds through Goku. That's just what it is, man. He just absolutely shreds because he has so much damage. The moment you give him type neutral, he's just gonna live through that Goku's things entirely. This is another thing that is really annoying, is just Goku's popping fucking main ability to make my Goku lose his cards and stuff. It is very, very annoying. It's happened to me a few times so far, but it is what it is. It doesn't make that much of a difference, especially in like this kind of neutral situation, but it does make me lose my ultimate, which I do find a tad smidge very annoying. You get the green card off there, and we do have our blue card completely stacked on damage, but like, look at that strike card damage, man. Like, it's so ludicrous. So fucking ludicrous how much damage he puts out. And even like, I feel like he does output even more damage than Frieza does, but Frieza's like combo damage is crazy because of his special beam. But let's go ahead and do one more match to finish off this showcase for Goku. Alright, we're here for the final match of the video. And I do feel like we've gotten kind of the point across in regards to like Goku and how to use him. So I do hope that does help you guys perform a little bit better with him, because I will be so honest, man, a lot of the people I'm fighting are just not utilizing Goku correctly at all. And I feel like that's kind of hindering like their experience with him, is not knowing what to really do with that. And I'm not saying that in a way to say like he's better than Frieza. I do definitely think Frieza is still better right now. Like, I don't think that's going to change until more units come out. However, I do feel that Goku is being underrated a bit. But at the same time, the people, like, the lowest they have him is still top 3. So it's like, it's not like he's being overestimatedly underrated. But I do feel like if you utilize Goku correctly, he is a very clear top 2 character in the game right now. He's absolutely insane. Like, it's just not even close. Like, even here, like, we have the card destruction immunity, we pop his disrupt. Now his disrupt is gone, and like, that's just not going to be an impact for the rest of the game. And we already have our first gauge pop, so the next time we come in, we will go ahead and have that available. And the other thing too with Goku, I think that we haven't touched on yet, is his ultimate also gives him like 25% of his gauge. I do think it's worth after you pop his first gauge. I do think it's worth it to just pop Goku's main ability and use the ultimate just to get his second gauge faster, but also because Goku's damage is damn near peaked out after his first gauge. So the second gauge, all it gives him is endurance null and type neutral, which type neutral could be something you might want to wait for depending on the matchup. But in a matchup like this where we're fighting green, yellow, and blue, we don't need the type neutral. So after the first gauge, we can generally just pop Goku's ultimate and it'll have damn near the maximum damage. And it'll also do very, very good for getting us that second gauge faster. But we won't need that here since we did end up losing priority and we're taking these cards. We can go ahead and bring Goku in here and that'll go ahead and do his disrupt. 2 cards gone, so his combo just ends right there. That is where that is what I'm talking about with the disrupt utility, man. You just destroy 2 cards, 30 key, and it's like they're just, and you lock them in there. The reason I did that is because I wanted to pop his second gauge and get his endurance null available to me, so that way I'm able to potentially snipe Frieza as well the next time I come in with my gauge buffs. We do guess there, which is very unfortunate. We live on 1 HP, and we do get to get the combo off, which really sucks for this guy. And we did decide to go ahead and just pop the ultimate. Even if Frieza comes in here, he is going to take a good chunk of damage. It's not going to kill him, obviously, because we didn't have a lot of damage stacking on this. But this is still going to do very, very good damage. Like, look at how much damage that is. And that is to Frieza. Frieza is not a squishy character by any means. By any means is Frieza a squishy character. He's extremely tanky. Pop the Krillin card there because I knew we were going to get hit anyways. And for some reason, that guy decided to go for green card there. He should have went for taps. If he went for taps, he would have killed our Krillin, and that would have helped him out a lot. But like, look at our Goku. Our Goku was literally 1 HP, right? We guessed that rush, and our Goku was literally 1 HP. He is at full HP now. Like, it's insane, man. And here we have endurance null, and we're just locking him in. Boom. We go ahead and pop the Goku revive, get that out of the way. And that is absolutely insane. And we do also still have our maximum blue card damage available. So if we land like we did right there, this is going to do an astronomical amount of damage right here. Like, look at that. Absolutely insane, man. And it would have been nice if it killed. It definitely could have if we had like 1 more card of damage stacking, obviously. But Fiku is, again, a very tanky unit as well. Like, this team is very tanky that we're fighting. I did go ahead and try to run this team myself as well with Fiku. The only thing I didn't like is that Fiku doesn't have as much sub-count manipulation as Krillin. And I feel like the Krillin sub-count manipulation works really well for this team because they constantly want to be swapping in and out to pop their disrupts and their gauge buffs and everything like that. So I feel like Krillin is the better pick. It's just a little bit harder to do bench for him because he's not a Saiyan. But it's not that big of a deal. It really is not that big of a deal. Here we have our Krillin living on 4k HP. We guessed that. And then we went for an overdrive attack here. Because we just had it and we saw him going for the tap. So I just kind of wanted to go for it. It is what it is. I thought he would expect us to do some HP regen there because Krillin was 1 HP. But he didn't. So my full offense strat didn't work. And like, look at that healing again. Like, Goku's back to full HP, man. Look at Krillin's HP. Krillin was literally at 1 HP a second ago. And now he's at half HP. Because Goku's gauge popped, and then also because of the extra healing Goku gives when he does revive. This also is very annoying. Frieza's blast card ceiling is so annoying, man. Especially when you have a hand like this. Makes it so hard to play the game. We're able to get that there. Good priority. And our blast cards are still sealed. So we just go ahead and do that. And we go ahead and wrap up Goku. We should be swapping the Krillin here. Yep. We do end up getting caught, which is fine. I think we are going to go ahead and let Goku come in as well. Which I don't think was the play. I think we should have just let Krillin die for the healing. But it would have worked out because Goku did come in and disrupt. But we just ended up not predicting that he would combo drop into another card there. So it ended up hurting us a little bit. But if we had predicted that, we would have been fine. And at this point, I was starting to get a little bit concerned because I was like, holy shit, like, what's going on here? But we were able to get the vanish off, and then we saw main. So once Frieza pops main, he does get full gauge, which will let him use his enhanced special beam cannon, which does nullify endurance. Did not do enough damage to finish, but that's fine because we can just finish off with our next card. Okay. That is it for the Ultra Goku Showcase. I think he looks absolutely amazing. Phenomenal unit. Definitely the second best unit in the game. And then next up, I'll see you guys for the Ultra Frieza Showcase, which we have one clip in that match. It's absolutely crazy. We have an insane 1v3 that we got with Frieza. So make sure you guys stick around for that. With that being said, Kaizer, signing out.